them really full hard. Saxijago on the Lancelot. So some of these picks are obviously some of what you want to think about. But on the other side, again, very happy with the Forza, as I was going to say. That was not cool.
Almost all games we have
almost
today.
all games today.
Yesterday and today, all games have Farsas.
Again, 90 to 95% win rate.
And pick rate.
And pick rate.
So
pick and ban rate. So
at this point, it's just
the game of getting Farsa good. And Archangel, they don't want to play against those odds. They want to go for 50-50 still. They got the midfielder out as well. And again, some of these players we see are very strong on specific heroes. I feel like Bullwit, I believe that was Claude yesterday. So there were a lot of heroes that we have to watch out for each of these individual players. Escalera specifically, we also seen last game, and I think that's still going to be true here, is of course the Sylvana.
Yeah, and Sylvana, really a lot of lock-in against squishy targets or even targets out of position. I feel like that's the main thing and why they get that Sylvana. But looking at the bans right now, I feel like that Farsa ban is really smart. As you said, going for the 50-50, they don't want that anymore. But let's take note that Jawhead is still open for Joyboy here. We saw Joyboy yesterday just going in for that Jawhead. A lot of great plays and a lot of, let's just say, attitude around his gameplay as well. And I'm excited to see if the Jawhead will be left open. But in terms of picks, power picks, strong picks around the meta right now, Yu Zhong still open. A lot of other good options as well to counter the Yu Zhong, and maybe even Paquito or the Vendetta. They're still open. The Brody is still open.
I'm very happy. I'll be very happy if these players pick out Paquito. I have not seen a lot of Paquito games yet. I want this to be the start of people normalizing using Paquito. Again, there's an advantage that you have, especially against a team that doesn't know the timings of the hero yet. The timing of champ stance, for instance, it's very difficult for some people to spot out, and they don't know that if you play around champ stance well, the Paquito can actually be easier to deal with. So, again, these are the things, small things I'm looking forward to in the coming picks. And so far, the ban will be locked out already for the Brody, which is not surprising at this point.
Yeah, and now that Archangel has that priority pick, let's see on what they will prioritize. Looks like they're hovering over this Diggy. Diggy right now, I feel like he has been resurfacing as one of the more premier picks so far if you want
a lot
of
teams
support.
Don't really want to play against this guy.
I mean,
a lot of teams are like, they see the oh no, oh no, get me out of this game.
And it doesn't even reveal a lot of things. This is why a priority pick Diggy would make a lot of sense for Archangel. So I'm happy to see that they're not really moving it away. But I won't be surprised as well if they do get to choose a strong offlaner for now. Like I do think that it's not that smart. This is possibly the smartest idea. But again,
they were probably trolling.
Getting the Jawhead
just
for Joy
like you
Boy.
predicted. There you go. Quite right. And on the other side, I would not be surprised by Benedetta or the Yu Zhong. Again, Empire Monarch, they're a team that kind of plays around the meta. They don't really have their own signature heroes as of yet. But yeah, they play around the Sylvana, they play around the Yu Zhong, they play around the Benedetta as their first picks. Especially now that they have two. So that's a lot. That's a lot of freedom coming over to Empire Monarch. And a lot of heroes that are not banned out. So
Benedetta, as you predicted, let's see if they're actually going to pair it up with Baksha. I really like this early Baksha pick. If you choose to get a lot of healing around Archangel now, wouldn't really make a lot of sense.
Like the Alice.
The Alice wouldn't make that much sense, but the Baksha pick just really crosses out a lot of things. It's like an additional ban out there unless you want to play with less effectivity. So for Archangel, I feel like they're opting for the Harith instead, plus the Khalid. Khalid still has that healing, but I feel like they're choosing this Khalid just to have that ultimate and just to have that sandstorm to at least try to stun up individuals, or maybe just face that Benedetta with a lot of AoE damage as well.
I think that's it. They just want to answer to the Benedetta in the laning phase, because the Benedetta laning phase is very quick. It clears quickly and roams quickly, and the Kali kind of does the same thing. So it can clear really quick with the Desert Storm. and I think it can actually do a lot as well with the Raging Sandstorm when you get into the late phase of the game. So as we were saying, actually, for a lot of times, ever since Kali came out, he's a guy that really excels early, mid to late. So you can never go wrong with this pick. Although again, some picks like this are going to be working well. If the enemy doesn't have Baksha, it's great to have an Alice on your side.
Yeah, I have to agree with you over there. And now Alice, actually a good showing from a lot of the Alice picks yesterday and earlier today as well. So I'll be...
MVP.
Yeah, I'll be a little bit excited to see on how they're going to play this Alice, because so far a lot of the Alice picks, I mean, you could put it on the list, like Farsa, Alice. These picks are even Jawhead a little bit. A lot of the Jawhead players also, and Cho, those picks are the staple picks for the main qualifiers right now.
I'm very happy to see those heroes, obviously.
I mean,
they're high skill cap heroes.
Alice?
No, I mean, decision making.
Yeah, decision making wise, of course.
Like, if you decide to go in at the wrong time, that's usually it. But when you go in at the right time, it just clears out. It just makes you so effective.
Yeah.
Again, without anti-lifesteal built in already, this guy does a lot of damage, and it's a great gold laner.
Yeah,
so,
I do.
Yeah.
Agreeing with you over there. And Alice, and as we saw earlier, the Farsa was rendered useless with that Alice just entering the backside, immediately zoning out the Farsa. It would be surprising to see, honestly, because the Farsa has been zoning out a lot of people throughout day one. Literally just put down that feathered airstrike, everyone respects it, you get out of that zone, and suddenly objectives just come straight through you. But earlier we saw an Alice just went in for that Farsa, not only canceling out the feathered airstrike but also forcing the escape as well. So I'm really happy to see this Alice pick for SV here. But let's go to the ban, the second banning phase of this game, a Ling ban for the side of SV and for AA here.
Quite
Looks like they're gonna put a Chang'e.
Yeah, oh, that's a weird one actually. I was gonna say Chang'e ban is very uncommon. Maybe it's very specific to this one. They can't really pick the Chang'e, and there's too much magic damage either way on SVA. They probably want to go for something like a Lo Yi more likely, something that can do a lot of support rather than the damage output. So I think the Chang'e ban was a little bit off for me. So right now, though, the focus is on the carries because either teams, they don't have that yet. And apparently the trend now is if both teams don't have their carries, like, focus it hard on the banning. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Forcing everyone to either go Claude, Roger,
basically the A-tier marksman,
yeah,
and not the S-tier assassins that we are seeing in the ban list right now. Hayabusa, surprisingly a lot of appearances yesterday, and Ling plus Lancelot, that classic assassin matchup, is also banned out from this game. So let's see what Archangel would pick as their core, because there's not a lot of choices.
Carry?
Clint,
there you go. That's
Granger,
the better one.
The Granger. I mean, I remember Midnight, we were talking about...
Oh, there you go. I forgot about Easton Shin.
Forgot about Easton Shin. Even Roger, honestly.
Roger would... I mean, last game it wasn't really good because of anti-lifesteal as well. So maybe if they pick Roger, it might have been so much worse because of the Baksha and the Alice. But
he offered with a 1-1 instead.
1-1's pretty good. For me, it's okay.
Yeah, we did see 1-1 yesterday as well at the last game between Panda Gaming and I forgot who Panda Gaming was against, but I think Panda Gaming won that, and they used a 1-1 to secure their last game. So I'm quite happy to see 1-1 resurfacing again for day 2 of the main qualifiers. But we're seeing the overall composition of Archangel already, and obviously a lot of single target damage, also actually AoE damage, and a lot of setup as well. The Eudora with a mass stun, maybe with a Raging Sandstorm as well, but not a lot of, let's say, artillery level range, considering that we do not have a Farsa here, and most of their damage would probably come from mid-range.
I'm not so sure about the Retribution Wan. There you go. No damage. Told you, it's going to be a support for sure. No, they don't need the damage anymore. So it's going to be Jungler Harif. That makes so much more sense than go for the lane Wan. That's what I want to see, and that's what they're going for here. So not much will be if you're gonna notice, there's gonna be a big lack of fighters in this game.
So now that you said,
it's
actually,
gonna be so explosive.
This is gonna be so explosive, considering that we do have a marksman that's very flashy.
Well, anyway, so they're probably gonna have to really stomach
Adjust.
it, and yeah, adjustment is a big factor, not just in the game, not just in the schedule, but in the patches. You know, these are things that our players, if they want to get into the MPL, will have to get used to. They gotta get used to it. So here we go, on to game number 1 between Archangel and Empire Monarch. That's on the blue side, AA, and SV on the red side.
And as you said, a good pro is a versatile pro. A lot of adjustments, a lot of micro stuff that you do in your life to just improve overall. Let's look at the 3 lanes so far. Not a lot of action, just a lot of farming for now. But we do see Khalid just roaming through the orange buff right now.
And again, Fall can actually do some pretty decent damage here. But again, these are not going to be a big deal. He's just forcing a revitalize here from the Baksha. It's already a pretty good trade, I guess. And again, just because of how fast the Khalid clears out the wave with a passive. Or with a first, rather.
And looking at the bottom lane, 3 people invested from Archangel. Might be danger for ambush. The stun lands, and Joy Boy doesn't get close in time. He did have the flicker, but I feel like they respected the Benedetta dashes, or maybe even the second skill coming in from ambush here. You gotta respect that. That could potentially make a great outplay early on in the game. Baksha, though.
Oh, Baksha, look at that. Pretty good damage. Ninja Killer has to use the flicker to get out of there. Saksha Jago, even with the Zaman Force, just ensure that ambush and triple extension doesn't try anything fishy.
And so far, both teams has been proactive, especially around that bottom side area, but none of them actually secured kills so far. So I feel like the cores have one thing in mind here, just try to stay alive. But Ubosan, will you stay alive?
Ubosan gonna get taken out real quick. Saksha Jago doesn't even need to clock in the Zaman Force. He does now, and Barry will suffer. That's a double kill to a double buff Harif, and that is not something that's gonna go down lightly.
Saksha.
Man, Empire Monarch's gonna pay dividends here for this one.
Saksha getting 2 kills plus the turtle. This is an early start. A good morning for the Archangel squad right now. But they have to maintain this lead. They have to make sure that they get something more out of it. You already got the turtle. You already got 2 kills. But you need to translate that to an even bigger lead. And looks like Archangel is just poising themselves to make sure that this Harith just grows into the monster that they need him to be.
Yep, and again, this Harif is a jungler Harif, which means it's going to accelerate even further here. And that's something that they should not wait around to see.
Oh, Alecto final blow, though, used defensively to clear the wave. You know what? That's like hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. Clearing the wave and escaping that 2v1.
Yeah.
Benedetta. Just Benedetta things.
Just not scary enough, though. I mean, at this point, it's intimidating, but the damage is not there. Because right now, if you're Benedetta, you have Warrior Boots, you got that HP, you got that Vitality Crystal, you got that Leather Jerkin. So everything is just purely defense.
Yeah, everything's just purely defense for now. And he does have the mobility just to make sure and survive that lane. And Baksha, you know, zoning out a few people here. 4 are invested by Archangel in the bottom side. Might be a dive by Joy Boy.
Saksha Jago and Joy Boy underneath the turret will be countered real quick, but you cannot counter that.
Oh,
but you can kind of shield against it, so...
That was a perfectly timed shield coming in from SV here. The damage from Eudora a little bit mitigated, and not a lot of battle spells burnt as well. They will get some gold in the plating here in the bottom side, but Archangel still not translating anything here in the bottom lane. Their first kills actually went near the mid lane as well.
And the reason why I love the Diki counter is you can do stuff like that. With the use of the time journey, you can kind of stop the Thunder's Wrath. So we're going to see a lot of that right now, though. You cannot stop it if you're not close by and if your skills are on cooldown. And the problem with time journey is it's long cooldown, and once you use it, you're going to have to wait. And without it, your teammates are going to suffer the full damage of the Eudora.
Yeah, and maybe this is why Archangel is accelerating the pace here by proactively moving around the map, getting kills, I guess, around mid lane and bottom lane, now securing the second turtle as well, going to the hands of Saksha. This is the same thing that happened earlier where they got 2 kills and got the turtle. This time though, they did get just 1 kill, but Saksha again, securing that turtle. I feel like they're funneling their gold in this isn't a funnel, but they funneled their gold quite well.
Quite well indeed. And I think they're getting random kills on the map, which is great for Archangel, but it's so weird to see happen. 1v1 for Fall. Again, we just execute and Desert Tornado can kill the Alice quite easily. So over and over again, the fun that you're talking about here is for Saksha Jago. He's just getting everything.
Yeah,
everything he can.
And I think Archangel is giving him those kills as well, considering that, as you said earlier, Rockhart, Saksha needs a lot of gold here if he wants to stay relevant. Ejected back to death.
Joy Boy!
Why you gotta do him dirty, man?
That was super dirty, and the ban definitely warranted at this point for Joy Boy's jawhead. And it's a little bit of oops. Again, that's just the thing with Ejector. If it's not super close, it's not gonna work. That's just the nature of the skill. But again, it's still threatening nonetheless. So it could be big. Saksha Jago with the Zaman Force. He's committing too much here. He loses all of his buffs. And I think that is a big win for Empire Monarch.
Big kill for Empire Monarch there, and I feel like that error stemmed from a massive miscommunication with the team. He was several miles away from his squad. Even the Zaman Force dashes won't save him there, but they eject back the Zaman. Oh wait, that's not Zaman Force, so that's the Electro Final Blow used defensively instead, and it's really hard to catch a Vendetta off guard.
It really is. I mean, even if you do have him on the Ejector, he's going to be able to go for eye. He's going to be able to go Electro Final Blow. And again, Sword Intent dash non-stop. So don't even try. For me, just leave that lane alone for now.
Yeah.
Because they could be trying to go for the Alice instead. Maybe that's easier.
And the moment the Alice uses that blood flow to clear the waves, it's a very big window for Archangel to get a kill. But the turtle, it looks like SV or Empire Monarch here will finally contest against this turtle because 2 turtles were already taken, but the Diggy didn't even exist. It just got deleted.
Force damage is exceedingly strong because of his level. He's level 8, so that means he has level 2 Unstoppable Force, and that hurt for some reason. I don't know.
Man, good pickup as well for Saksha there. Feather of Heaven already taken 7 minutes in, or maybe 8 minutes in, but that's still fairly fast. A 3-1. Turtle goes to the hands of Harith once again. They're going to contest this purple buff, but a 4v4 happening right now.
Yep, and again, the reverse time going to be locking down the jawhead of Joy Boy, finally. And again, Very is just, he's not having a great time here so far. But when he gets pickups, when he gets picks like that, it makes the Diggy pick worth it. Maybe in the late game it's gonna have more value, but for the early game, if you're not damaged build Diggy, you're not gonna be doing that much.
Yeah, and I have to say that right now, Fall 1-0-1. I haven't really seen a lot of engages so far, but I feel like he doesn't have to. He just has to control the wave, just try to be there. But a 4v1 in the mid lane just immediately chunks out Escalera there. 0-1-4 on this Eudora, but the Raging Sandstorm landing on 1.
And again, with the time journey, make sure that no one gets locked down. But does that matter? Right now, Joy Boy with the help of Saksha Jago on the backline. There's a lot of damage. Ninja Killer, he's dashing, he's dancing, he is getting the job done. Saksha Jago with the Pearl buff as well. Hurts like hell with the double kill on the Harith. And this lineup right now, ambush way too late to the party. Everyone's already back home. What are you doing? You can't get anything here.
And they really can't get anything in that fight. SV was caught off guard immediately by Joy Boy, and I just love how you use the term hurts like hell there, because man, this combo, I mean, overall, Saksha, Escalera, and Fall, it just hurts as hell. It's literally just hellfire all over the map. And Diggy, the moment that Diggy even maybe shows himself in a vulnerable state. It just gets deleted 0-3-3 right now.
Yeah. And I'm surprised Ninja Killa is even joining the fights. He's level 12 right now. And only one level behind of the jungler. That is surprising. He's getting a lot of assists. He's getting a lot of XP. He's 0-0-4, but I'm pretty sure he's like free 4 items already.
And I feel like he hasn't even used Flicker yet, but a stun lands. Zaman Force is there. Killing spree for the Harith as he goes in and out. As you say, dancing and slashing all year round. Looks like Lord will be the next objective to take for Archangel. XXX tension there. Going behind for the flank. This Lord, though, will be secured by the Harith. And overall, all of the objectives so far, 3 turtles, plus the Lord, plus the outer turrets, Archangel winning them all.
Yep, and Archangel definitely is on the positive momentum here. Although, again, small mistakes are happening, and somehow Empire Monarch can really...
Just by Joy Boy. So, in an essence, Joy Boy is actually the one feeding the kills to Saksha here. And Saksha sitting pretty with that 6-1-1.
Yeah, again, with the help of Escalera, making sure that the damage is always there. Man, Eudora plus Harith at this point is just difficult to deal with, especially without the magic resistance that you sorely need yet. Because right now, everyone on SV is just trying to get the core items. Maybe the luxury items going to start to kick in later on with that magic resistance, maybe Oracle or Queen's Wings. But until then, you're quite vulnerable to Archangel here.
Yeah, it's pretty sad considering that I think yesterday we did see a Yu Zhong who actually got a second item Oracle out against a lineup similar to this. It was very magic damage heavy. But right now they do not have that option, and Benedetta secondary Oracle wouldn't be really that effective. Lord, though, pushes down top side, still not going in, but the Zaman Force is called. Raging Sandstorm lands on 2.
That's a big one. It's going to be going down here for Archangel. Again, Electro Final Blow already used to clear the Lord means that it's not available for a team fight. Escalera also takes out the mid lane, which means that there's very little that SV can do against this. Empire Monarch going to have to go down. A great ejector from Joy Boy. As usual, what's new? Archangel 1-0.
Yeah, Archangel winning their first game of this best of 3. A lot of time farming alone, and you don't want to give that to a 1-1. But let's move on.
0-0, 14-1-1, by the way.
By the way, no, it's support 1-1, by the way.
Support 1-1.
But yeah, going to the game 2. Second game, Archangel, if they win this, they're going to be quite happy with that result. But for SV, they would want to be in the place of Archangel right now. And of course, they want revenge after that game 1 where they actually did good, but Archangel just did it better. So let's go to the banning phase, an immediate respect ban for that Harith pick last game. And
now,
wow.
Some people would say this is the right thing to do. Some people even say it's common sense. But for me, it's just Empire Monarch once again just dancing to the tempo of Archangel straight off the banning phase. And I just really wish that Empire Monarch just goes back to who they were, which is a team that just has their own stuff. Again, even the last draft, at the end of it, they looked like they were just reacting.
Yeah.
With the Diggy pick, it was like the last thing on my mind. But somehow, they just wanted to make sure that they had an answer to everything. The answer to the Eudora. It did, kind of. It really did, in the early game at least. That Diggy was an answer, but in the end, it really wasn't. It didn't look like Archangel was comfortable with it.
Yeah, they were actually waiting for Archangel to do something in hope that they could counter it and then make their own play. But what mostly happened in game 1 was when Archangel did do plays, they were able to counter it, but they weren't able to do anything afterwards. So
yeah, basically farm and then like counter and then farm. And then just hope you don't die.
And if they die, free turtle for Archangel.
Free turret, free everything.
Free everything, honestly. That was a free game for Archangel if you base it only on the early game. But of course, mid-game, they did have their moments as well. So Empire Monarch rather, still very hungry for that win. And Natalia, standard ban, Esmeralda plus the Mathilda on the side of Archangel. They really respect this duo of heroes right here. But let's talk about the sides a little bit, rock hard. Empire Monarch now playing on the blue side. They do have that priority pick, and Farsa, not banned, open for steal against Escalera if they would want to early on. Jawhead, respect.
There you go. I mean,
beautiful.
All of these are reactions, but again, I think it is in the right direction, though. Again, just kind of stop. That Jawhead is a giveaway. Just don't give it to Joy Boy anymore.
Let's try not
like,
to.
All qualifier long, he's been picking Joy, and he's been working. He's been succeeding. And some teams just, I guess they're just now realizing this.
Yeah, and Joy Boy on this hero has been phenomenal. Really, one of the members of Archangels that you can remember in terms of playing
very
Jawhead.
memorable.
Very memorable, of course, with attitude. But of course, right now, Joy Boy in the spotlight. What hero will he use in replacement? I mean,
they could still go for Baksha, I
guess.
guess.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, a similarly annoying tank would be a Baksha, but it's not as flashy as Jawhead over here.
And,
first pick for
Sylvana
SV.
is also a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, we still got some options for Emperor Monarch here, but
really
again,
quickly though, most annoying hero in your personal taste?
I mean, that's already the Jawhead, but
Same.
you know, it's like nothing else comes close to the Jawhead, to be honest. Baksha's a good second, though. Maybe the Yuzhong, but the Yuzhong's ultimate is a bit long cooldown, so...
Yeah, and I was talking about it earlier as well. Sorry to cut you out there. Farsa, a priority pick, stealing it away from Escalera as well. And Farsa, highest win rate, highest pick rate as well.
Last game, it really did show up as well. So
last match,
yeah. It was impressive, and again, I'm not surprised to see it here. But now, that's a bit of a punishable move.
Yeah, they could definitely go for a Baksha plus Alice combo right now, or maybe a Sylvana as well to just cage that
That's the
bird
sub
all
in,
up.
and apparently we're right on cue again. You don't need the Yuzhong anymore, or not as much because of this. But it's still a welcome opening, and they go instead for the Vendetta, which is, again, it's kind of risky to give it over to SV, because SV still has a lot of off-laner picks that they can pick, side laner picks. So, Fams, what do I think about Fams? Nah, obviously not.
No, you know what?
These guys are funny, but yeah, no.
They probably won't lock that in. Let's see on what they would decide to, but... Again, Yuzhong still open.
Yuzhong is a good possibility still for Archangel.
Still open. Khalid still open. So a lot, as I said, a lot of off laners or a lot of side laners, they're still available for SV to take. And I really feel like this isn't the correct decision here. But as you know, Diggy will be the answer to their problems once again.
Okay, so
this will force them to be reactive once again.
So this is take two rather of this lineup. A Diggy with a Claude. In theory, it works very well. But again, against a team like Archangel, who seems to be used to it, I'm not sure. So, so they're not gonna go into that fight, by the way, where they're gonna ban out all the carries again. They pick it up right away. They don't want to get in that position, because I feel like Archangel has a fear of getting forced into heroes like the Roger. Heroes like the Granger or the Claude, or the Granger or the Clint, not the Claude. There you go.
Yeah, and we really don't want to see that again.
Yeah,
as much as it
was great, but again, very
it's the
specific.
It's the things that you would want to taste once and never again.
It's fine to get a win. Like, you're happy, it's fine. Clint, just go with your 100%.
You don't want the experience. The experience can never be replicated. You only experience it ever once. But let's go back to the bans here. Ling already banned out for SV here. For Archangel, though, they're gonna ban out the Cho. So in terms of banning, I feel like Archangel is trying to choke out the side lane a little bit, considering that SV hasn't even chosen their main tank yet.
Yep, and the main tank is without the Baksha, though. I mean, that's a little bit odd for me, but it does make sense. It makes the life of the Sylvana easier, makes the life of the Benedetta easier, and you don't have to worry about too many dive-ins.
Oh, the Selena was left open. Actually, I did not notice that Selena was left open, and this is one of the picks that Escalera has been using quite a while as well. But looks like they're going to go for the Eudora still. I feel like the Selena would be a better choice, considering just the overall map control or pressure that the Abyssal arrows could do, or Abyssal traps as well.
Yeah, I guess they're a little bit worried because
takes a lot of practice.
I mean because of the Diggy. I mean, Time Journey, they might have a Selena. Oh, I got a stun. All right, I stun it. I'm gonna go in for the Garrote, but then Time Journey comes in. Selena dies. Happens a lot. So I'm super weirded out by the Lancelot and Ling ban for SV. Like, they literally banned themselves out. This is weird because Archangel's not gonna pick a Lancelot or a Ling anymore anyway.
Yeah.
So what was that about?
I am not quite sure on why SV did that, but maybe they just don't want to see S-tier assassins right now in this game, especially with their Farsa already picked. But looks like Lamord and Thamus, good front line for
it's old school, man.
SV. A lot of healing, a lot of soft CC or even hard CC as well. So overall, I feel like that's going to be a good setup for the Claude and the Farsa if ever they do decide to get that front line. And for Archangel, Yu Zhong's still open, but they already have 2 side laners anyway. They do already have that Benedetta and that Khalid, so feel like a good mage or a good support could, good mage or maybe someone who could deal damage, someone who could match the Farsa would be great for Archangel.
Yeah, I feel like the Farsa is great, and although again you kind of want to have a good front line with it, and that's exactly what Empire Monarch did. But with this lineup, they're relying so much on the Farsa, so much on the claw damage, that if one of these guys go down, their lineup is going to be super vulnerable, so hopefully they know what they're doing. With the Loi though, it's a little bit better of an answer to a Diggy, because your crowd control is a little bit more spread out, a little bit faster on the crowd control cooldowns as well. Again, Dispersion is a great damage dealing skill, and Duality is going to be worrisome.
Oh,
Sicilian. But they go pure damage instead.
Honestly, I would have preferred Lu Yi. A lot of
that's your crowd control.
Yeah, crowd control, not just crowd control as well, but also the ultimate just allows you to roam around the map faster. As a team, by the way, you could actually just push one lane, then transfer to another objective. Feel like that utility spell is really worth it for them, but looks like they have other priorities. They want more
Time Journey, and they're banking on that very, very heavily. So let's go into the game for Empire Monarch SV versus Archangel AA. This is game 2 and possibly last one for AA.
If they win.
If they win, because right now they've got a very weird win condition where they really need a lot of damage.
Yeah, and also their damage scales up towards the late game. You're never going to see a Sicilian who's very effective on the early or mid game part. It's always around the later stages of the game where the Sicilian actually deals a lot of damage with that Bat's impact, especially the survivability he needs as well with his ultimate and its items. So there's a lot of stuff that you have to set up if you want that Sicilian pick to be effective. But then again, we've seen Archangel pull off a lot of stunts. This might just be one of them.
I think that we can still see Empire Monarch here kind of have a pretty good early game just because of Diggy Bombs, right? I'm a little bit surprised by Archangel's pure reliance on crowd control from the Sylvana, because that's all.
Yeah,
like, that's all a crowd control you're going to get. Sylvana's Imperial Justice plus the Raging Sandstorm from the Khalid.
And perhaps some slow crowd, I guess a soft crowd control as well from the Benedetta. But apart from that, Sanguine Claws, it's
super unreliable.
Unreliable. I don't even count that as a crowd control anymore, considering that he's been using it to just clear off the minion waves. And this is what you want early on in the game. Try not to give out free gold with the plating. Just try to shove your waves, try to farm up as much as possible, and you would want that if you're Empire Monarch, especially with that Diggy. Wow, it actually landed, and the first blood goes to the Hayabusa.
And when things go right, that is exactly what I thought would happen. And that's why I said they're going to have to work extra hard to get pure burst damage, because that's their tool. They don't have crowd control. That means they need to have maximum burst. Yeah, and they did in that instance.
Speaking of maximum burst, just look at this turtle just going down fairly quickly to the hands of Archangel once again. Raging Sandstorm lands. Oh, stun as well, and this just might be a kill towards the Sylvana. The Diggy immediately going down. And again, this is the same thing that happened in Game 1, Rockhart. They got a few kills early on, translated it to the turtle, and now they're starting to have a small lead.
A bit of a small lead, but in the end, must be kind of worth it to just go hard onto Turtle. Just because of the Turtle buff on the Hayabusa, it's all worth it to just take it slow. They don't need to get so many kills yet. They just need to get a lot of pressure in. And yeah, it's working.
And speaking of pressure, they've been exerting pressure from all around the map just by clearing waves, making sure that when they do pull off plays in the mid lane, they know that they have the leeway to do so. And look at this, the Benedetta clear speed just unreal so far. Bullwit 16 will slightly, actually dodge that Raging Sandstorm by a mile. And Joyboy already missing that Jawhead already. That positioning could have been prime time for his Jawhead, but then again, gotta make do with the Sylvana.
Yeah, and Sylvana is definitely doing work. Man, this Joy Boy really knows how to play his tanks right now. But again, Bullwit is this is a very easy target, I think, for Archangel.
Oh
so
no!
Go ahead. They're gonna go for it. Oh my God, that is a huge blunder there under the tower. I mean, they got some hits in.
Saksha.
Funny thing is, Very didn't even need the feathered airstrike.
Yeah, and Saksha a little bit too confident there in that 4v1 dive. Yes, you have the power of numbers, but if the power of numbers can't even function because of that Ruby ult, I mean, you gotta respect that. Escalera forced the flicker away to safety, and this is the power of the Farsa pick. Again, the Farsa pick with the highest pick rate so far in the main qualifiers of MPL Season 7, and also the highest win rate. So it's only obvious that Empire Monarch will abuse this as much as possible.
Yep, and again, Fall is actually in a pretty good position right now to contest. Saksha is on the way for Turtle, and as you can see, Archangel is quite adamant to get that Turtle as well. So, and this is a good read from Empire Monarch.
Yeah, and not just a good read for Empire Monarch, but also good pickups coming in from AEA. A lot of item spikes for this turtle fight. Let's see if SV is able to pick up Ninja Killa here. That's 4 people, no, 3 people underneath the bush.
Oh, there you go. A feathered airstrike takes out Ninja Killa. They do secure the turtle, but Archangel's going to have to suffer that. And because of the loss of Ninja Killa, that could mean we could see some pushes happening here. And most likely all around the top lane.
Yeah, they need to push down a little bit of turrets considering that Ninja Killa is out of the game for now. But for Archangel, they did get that turtle though, so it's still a win for them. Saksha still with that turtle buff, already the second turtle of the game, but not exactly the richest member in Archangel.
Yeah, for me it's a mistake for a Bullwit to not really fight right away or try to go for the push right away. They waited, that was an opening, and now everyone's back on the map. And spoilers like that are going to be hard to come by here. Again, Raging Sandstorm, I didn't know you could get out of that.
Oh no, this is just no escape for Ambush 3435. He was the one who got ambushed in that 3v1. That Sylvana Cage, the Imperial Justice, plus actually all of the ultimates coming in from 3 people of Archangel in the bottom lane secured that kill. And now that the wave is pushing in the bottom side,
they're the ones who are going to push.
They might just get a first turret of the game as well.
Yeah, I think that's the opening that should have happened for Empire Monarch, but again, they failed to capitalize on that. And because of that, Archangel will get turret first blood. And again, they kind of got a lot of the outer turret energy shields as well on the other side, so they're pretty good in terms of economy. 2,000 gold ahead at 6.5 minutes in the game. Yeah,
and that's the effect of having proactive plays early on, and they are definitely proactive. And for our audience over there, we know that it's pretty boring so far in terms of the kills. It's 7 minutes in, we only have 5 kills on the board.
Very slow
but
game
it's
here.
Very macro-oriented. All of them really
again,
know how to rotate and know when to get objectives and fight for objectives, because it's actually it doesn't make sense if you fight without an objective. Just take a fight when you have an objective to take.
They do. I mean, for Empire Monarch, their win condition is, again, Ubasan, who is getting hunted down right now and bursted right off the bat. Ninja Killa could do no wrong. Fall takes out the claw, and under the turret they go. Ninja Killa still alive, brother, and the turtle will fall. Man, what happened there? Ninja Killa, he played around it, and he got lots. of value.
Archangel securing another turtle, and Ninja Kill, as you said, surviving in front of 4 people. The quicksand guard with 50 HP, by the way, that was a half a bar, and he just regens so much to the point that he bought enough time for Archangel to just secure that turtle quickly. And as we were talking earlier, Rockhard, you don't have to fight if you already got the objective. That was the goal. They got the turtle, went out, called it a day.
Yeah, and they're happy because Fall was also doing some pretty good damage on the back foot while all of that was happening. So, man, threats all everywhere here for Empire Monarch, Archangel. They're all over the map right now.
They need, I think for Empire Monarch, they need to make sure that they free up a little bit of space here in the map. At least try to take one outer turret so they can enter the jungle a little bit safer and try to make plays there. But looks like ambush, another ambush here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, right now Fall is a very tanky guy, and with the lifesteal that you have for the Vendetta, you can really regen really quickly. So, not surprising at all. Now, what we're going to see here is, again, control for the mid lane. This is why you get the Farsa. And this is probably why Archangel is having a little bit of a hard time getting a lot of kills. Because the Farsa just controls the waves.
But look at this. Imperial Justice lands plus the Electo final blow. It will be the final blow in ambush as Sicilian gets the kill with a bat's impact. That's 4 people in the bottom lane. Might be the turret instead. Again, fights for objectives. Archangel knows what's up.
They know what's up, man. Even the FAMs with the Vengeance, with the Conrad Inferno, could not withstand the damage. Extension forced to use the Aegis, and now they're going to be going for the chase.
And the fight continues here. Shadow kill committed on Bulwit, and Bulwit just might be in trouble, but look at that. Clone after clone. Will it be enough to still survive? Ruby gets him, though. Diggy is also gonna die in that fight. 2 people down for Empire Monarch, and only 1 for Archangel.
And Ubasan way too late to the party once more. I cannot believe I'm seeing this, man. Archangel, they're bullying their way to victory. They get that turn on the bot side. And top lane is also going to be going to Van. And 6k gold lead, man. Or 5k gold lead, rather, for Archangel.
And Empire Monarch has been able to fight them fairly in skirmishes and team fights. But every time they do so, for some reason, Archangel ends up 1 foot ahead with an objective, of course.
Ubasan a little bit late all the time. Like, the moment he arrives, everyone's dispersing already. This guy feels like he has BO or something. I don't know. People just tries to go away from him.
And Ubasan right now, 0-1 and 2, really, I guess 50% kill participation, considering that they do have just 4 kills. But as you were saying earlier, if your core arrives late, your damage arrives late. Archangel starts the Lord, 1/4 HP, and it's uncontested, an uncontested Lord for Archangel.
That was super quick, and this is the burst damage coming down from the Archangel lineup. Again, this lineup is almost pure damage, no crowd controls, no tanking whatsoever. All the tanking skills they have are sustained. Joy Boy's Spell Vamp from the Sylvana's Spiral Strangling, as well as Ninja Killa with the Quicksand Guard. Everything else is pure damage output.
I mean, looking at the items, for them, it's basically that. Lightning Truncheon and Holy Crystal, Blade of Despair, just a lot of damage throughout. And regen as well. And looks like mid lane will be the target for Archangel as the Lord pushes down bottom lane. So that's a lot of pressure around the map so far. But look at Benedetta as well. This is just an overall choke, man.
Yeah. It's going to be a free lane push. Archangel, they're closing and inching to victory, forcing Empire Monarch to make a decision. They go for bot lane. And again, Claude still has that Blazing Duet. Probably can clear a wave or 2.
They need a miracle.
They gotta need a miracle here. They're saving the Blazing Duet way too much.
And apart from a miracle, they also need to clear out the minion waves here. If they aren't able to clear out the minion waves, we're going to see 3 inhibitor turrets down. But looks like they've succeeded so far. The Lord is already down. It's still quite early in the game. But the people of Archangel, 5 people just roaming around the jungle, clearing everything out. They're choking in SV inside their own base, limiting their resources, actually stealing it away. Archangel, they know how to end games.
Yep, and again, they're doing this very methodically. They're not rushing it. They know they're at an advantage, and they're playing towards that. Quicksand Guard will be procced with the Queen's Wings. Passive. Escalera with the kill on top side as well. Ambush trying to clear it with the Molten Sights. And all they can do is just hope and pray that Archangel makes a blunder, but that does not seem possible. Oh my god.
Look at the bats impact damage coming in from Escalera.
What was that?
It's not gonna look well for Empire Monarch so far. This is already looking like an Archangel win. They have 10 seconds until Bullwit is up. The fight starts now.
Archangel, they're going in for the close. Lots of low HP. Ambush is very, very low as well, but Cal Quadrat Inferno will keep him alive. Sasha Jago playing with the shadows here, and somehow Empire Monarch can actually defend this.
Yeah, and I feel like Archangel maybe respected SV as well, knowing that Bullwit is up. They already saw what Bullwit could do to the top side earlier when they did have a 4v2 blunder out there. I think respecting your opponent also entails a little bit of discipline for Archangel, and discipline was a key word that we were talking about as well yesterday. A lot of the good teams always knew when to back off.
Yep, you don't need to really end the game. I mean, you don't need to rush ending the game if you think that you have the, if you're going to be on the risk of losing it with one team fight. So that's what a lot of the teams are picking up right now. They just want to make sure that they secure it with a big objective, either the Lord or a big minion push.
Yeah,
and I think that's what Archangel's doing right now.
They really are setting up the minion waves. They're going towards mid side. Khalid here is in the Khalid here is in the bottom side, of course. A little bit of fireworks for Archangel. They're already celebrating for having a big lead in Game 2. Again, they already won Game 1 for our viewers who just joined right now. And that means if they do close it out in this game, they will be moving on to the next phase of this tournament. And for Empire Monarch, they'll be moving on to the losers bracket. So it's still very forgiving in this morning. But later tonight, again, we have 7 matches. It's still going to be intense. But Rockhard, take it away.
That's going to be it, man. One big fight underneath. The Imperial Justice actually cleans up a lot here on the side of SV. Archangel, they're still fighting back, but not for long. Ambush goes down. Everyone is down for the count. 30 seconds on the timer. Very 2018, the only guy remaining. And that should be it. There's not much left to say here.
Yeah, Lord not even secured. The Lord was the bait for Archangel there. And SV just bit on it like a bone to a dog, or a dog to a bone, but that's Archangel securing the second game of this best of 3 series. Congratulations to Archangel for Empire Monarch.